Hello everyone, it's your boy Rainfall. Here I'm coming at you with a domination video. So this is basically this blank piece of paper is every single map on Modern Warfare. Okay, and what this video is going to be about is about controlling the match and spawns, because those are the most important aspects of basically any team deathmatch. Any kind of multiplayer game is controlling the spawns, but domination, there's a certain way. So let's say back over here, our spawn, our spawn, okay. Over here, enemy spawn. So just like the hardpoint video, you get your 3 lanes: left, center, and right. Okay, so here's our flags. All right, so here, let's say here's C, and that's a flag. Here's B. Okay, that's your flag. And let's say here's A. Sorry. Okay, and that's their flag. Okay, so the way domination is structured, that's apart from other games, is that when you're thinking about lanes, what's more important here is zones. Okay, so this is practically your zone, the most important zone right here is your center zone and controlling this area. So definitely, your lanes are still very important. Okay, and controlling those. So what I like to see best is one person takes C, the rest fight for B. Okay, now how we do that is we need to control these zones: center, center right, and center left. Okay, and one person needs to stay at C. So on this map, all right, on any map, all right, you get that center line. All right, so this line is representative of your leeway for flipping the spawn, right? So if you're controlling C and B, or 2 flags, you want to stay back behind this wall here, and you do not want to cross that line, that threshold, because what you're going to do is you're going to flip the spawn. So you want to be behind this line at all times, right? And then you can spawn trap. Okay, so when you're thinking about domination and spawns and just controlling the map, is a lot of people, once you get C, once you get B, once you get up to like 75 points, it's good to go for the domination, unless you're just absolutely owning them in every single gunfight and they can't do nothing about it. Every time they meet one of our players, we win the gunfight. All right, so in that case, we could try go for the domination and hold A, B, and C. Now, the way that I find it most successful is if you have, if it's regular multiplayer domination, then you could have 2, 2, and 2. Okay, so 2 fighting at A, 2 keeping B, 2 keeping C. But the problem with that is, and the problem that I find that most teams make and most players make, is that we're still not controlling the spawn. Okay, so when you're looking to dominate, you want to dominate from this way to this way. So you're not just dominating the flags, you're also dominating the zones, right? So this back right, oh, back right, their spawn, all right, center, and then their spawn or back left. Their spawn left or back left. Okay, our spawn right, our spawn right, our spawn center, our spawn left. So you either want to be on this side or this side, controlling this whole area. So the way you do that now is where it gets technical and what your gameplay style is, right? If you're a guy who's going to be rushing in there taking B, you're going to want your loadout to be something that's close range, up in your face. You want to be able to move, you want to be fast, all right? You want to just be able to get around this whole general area pretty fast and kill. Like, let's say if you kill someone here, you're going to want to reposition somewhere else so that they know your general area. They know you're around B somewhere. They just don't know where you are at B, right? So if you're that guy who's going to hold B and your buddy there is backing you up, let's say we're going to dominate these kids and we want to control the right side of the map because it has less lanes or less areas to watch over, right? So depending on the areas, the entrances to these zones is which zones you want to pick to skew the spawn. So we'll have these guys spawning over here or spawning on this side. So we're always in control. We're always facing the proper ways, looking towards the spawn, looking towards the enemy spawn. And we know exactly where they're coming from, right? So if you're on an objective, like let's say we're controlling here, if you're back here, you're gonna want an assault rifle, a sniper, or an LMG, right? If you're running around controlling these areas in their face, you're gonna want a lighter gun, and an SMG. I just use SMG. I kind of stay away from anything that isn't Call of Duty legal, just to get the practice in with those guns and to make sure that all my attachments and all my perks are within the rules of Call of Duty League, just because I find it more challenging, and whenever Call of Duty League rules apply, then you're already set up for it. You're already in that you already have that practice with those things. So when you're calling out and when you're positioning, right? So let's say you're back here, you're defending C, you can see center left, you can see back left, you can see their spawn center or B center. You're making sure you're in that lane, calling out the enemies and their where they are, right? So if they're back here, or else if they're coming from A to center left, you can call that out to give who's ever in these zones a heads up. So there's not really too much to add after that, except that if you're going to be, if you're having a heck of a battle for B and we're barely getting it, let's say the enemy got it and we're rushing these lanes and we're just getting zoned out, right? One thing we could do is to have like 4 members go to the right or left to flank around to the enemy objective. But once that happens, right? It has to be called out because the person back on C now has to be prepared for a spawn flip. So that if any rush to the opposite flag is being made, it should be called out so your so your teammate knows that there's going to be a spawn flip. So if they rush around down the right lane, kill the person at A, try capture that flag, the enemy, depending on your team placement and the enemy team placement, are going to be spawning anywhere, in this general area, or else even down to this block. So anywhere here. So let's say you kill the guy here, right? You're at A, okay? So the enemy controls B, right? And they're whooping our ass over in the center, right? So you come in here, you kill this guy, right? Our guys are still spawning back here because they're engaged in battle at B. This guy that you killed, and once you occupy this grid, you're gonna force them to spawn anywhere along this side, and most likely back here in our spawn if everybody's involved in conflict right here. And then once these guys die, they're going to be put back here. This guy's going to be left alone. This guy has the advantage to kill him, then come back behind and kill whoever. So those have to be called out immediately. Okay, so once you get there, let's say you get there, you're successful, you start capturing A. What mainly happens almost every match is one or two people who are fighting at B move back. They move back automatically to go defend A. So when that happens, what needs to happen here is whoever's on C needs to kill that person who got killed in the respawn. So the enemy that was at A spawning over here, he's going to go for C. Whoever is your teammate there needs to take him out. All right? And then these people here that were fighting for B are protected. All right? If you lose that fight, we need to know that, because then we need a shift. We need to shift back this way or this way. Right? And that's just a team movement and team positioning. So on Domination, it's unlike other modes, because you just really have to communicate where the enemies are going and how they're moving. Now, if it's CDL, it makes it more difficult to get a three-way hold, unless unless we're just wrecking the opposite team, and they can't, we're just dominating them on gunfights. That's the only way. You'll have one guy at the lesser important flag, the spawn you don't want to hold. Say if we spawn here at C and we like the A better, A to B connection better, then you put one guy here, so this guy is more likely to die. And you probably want your better players, your best players, two of them in this central area around B. And then your one guy with the LMG, the sniper, or the assault rifle over at the flag you want to hold. And then it's also important, okay, so we got two here. Let's say we got one guy here, one guy here, one guy fighting for C, okay, one guy at our spawn. So that's four guys, okay? So let's say with your fifth guy, you're either skewing the map or backing it up, right? So your fifth guy is can be like roving, right? This person can be over here and then switch or come back or go forward, right? So this fifth guy should be positioned where it does the most for the team. right? So if the fifth guy, depending on how the match goes, if it's even or skewed one way or the other, you're going to want him in a central position, close to the flag you're defending and the flag you're capturing. Right? This guy's going to be like a camping type of situation where he's either going to be able to come here, help take over, or else turn around and help defend. Right? Where this guy around B is kind of camping as well. This guy over here, not really camping, but more of controlling a zone. Right? The two other guys are kind of camping these zones. Right? Unless we want to push their spawns down to this end right here. So we don't have a guy on the left side. All our players are in this area to control where they are, right? So if we're here, we know all the enemies are here. And to be honest, the most technical way to win is just to control the two flags and let them have it. We don't need 3 flags. There's no reason why you would need 3 flags ever, unless you just want to play around and just dominate them. But if you want to win, and you want to win consistently, you only need the 2 flags. Alright, so that's just my basics about domination, team movement, and controlling the spawns, and a little bit about loadouts, right? And what it is that you want to do, what type of player you are. You need to start thinking about those loadouts and what's available in CDL. All right, Fear Fam, Fear Squad. Let me know what you guys think about this video. All right, if there's any more questions about what I can go into detail next, just let me know, and I'll work on it. Like, I've been studying these CDL game modes, and I'm starting to get the basic principles out of every mode, right? So my next video is going to be about search. All right, guys. Peace.